Hello and welcome to this webinar on Romeo and Juliet. We're looking at Romeo in Act 5 and we're looking at quotations that reveal his character, that link with the key ideas that thread throughout the whole play, and that we can analyse using subject terminology. As you know, Act 5 is where Romeo is told the wrong news by Balthazar, and then he decides to buy very strong poison to kill himself in the tomb and lie with her to be connected with her in life. When he hears the news that Juliet is dead, he says this: "Well, Juliet, I will lie with thee tonight. Let's see for means. O mischief, thou art swift to enter in the thoughts of desperate men." So Romeo here is decisive. He's determined to lie with Juliet. He's doomed. And really, the audience at the time would have understood that this decision is a huge decision, to commit suicide, to kill himself. It obviously has eternal consequences, that he's almost robbing himself of a future in heaven and hope with God by taking his own life. So this idea of impulsiveness, the swift decisions that he's making, are very much threaded throughout the beginning and to the end of the play, beginning with the servants and their impulsiveness, Romeo and Juliet's impulsiveness and their decision to marry, and the swiftness that he decides to kill himself before talking to the friar. And also it seems that this idea of fate is very much in this quotation, that despite everything that Romeo has tried to do, he finds himself in a situation where he has no hope or option but to die. When we look at subject terminology, we have this interjection, well, it's conclusive, it's final. All hope in life is gone in his estimation. He says, I will lie with thee tonight. And this modal verb is about his resolution. He's resolved to end it. He personifies mischief, this temptation, these destructive thoughts, as if it's like an expert thief, speedily gaining access, gaining entrance into his thoughts, his desperate thoughts. But the dramatic irony, the tragic reality is that he has hope. He has everything to live for, because the friar has been able to arrange this potion that will fake her death, and they're supposed to be reunited, and he's supposed to bear her to Mantua. So it's the tragic irony that he thinks that hope is gone, and he begins to plan mischief in his mind, whereas the truth is the opposite. In the final scene, Act 5, Scene 3, after killing Paris, who he sees as a love rival, he says this as he watches and looks at Juliet's beautiful body that's been untarnished, he thinks, by death. He says this: "Thou art not conquered. Death's ensign yet is crimson in thy lips and in thy cheeks." So he is again passionate, loving, admiring her. He says that she's not defeated, even though she's dead. She's still conquering. She's still strong. And the audience at the time would have understood this idea of war, of civil uprising, where people have to fight till the very last before they pull out that white flag of surrender. They have to wave the red flag to keep pressing on. So this idea of individuals versus society is very much here. Their private love has been something that they have fought for against all odds, and their private connection has been something that they've had to hide from the public eye. When we think of the subject terminology, he talks about conquered and ensign. An ensign is a flag. It's usually a red flag. And he says that she's not conquered, she's victorious, because their love is not defeated. His love for her is not defeated. And his love for her is so strong, even in death. It's an eternal love. And then he personifies her beauty. And he says that her ensign is still waving red, that she, beauty, Juliet's beauty, is an undaunted warrior. And that colour symbolism of the red, the crimson, is that passion and vitality and life and strength. However, it's also that dramatic irony that we know that her lips and cheeks are red because they show life. She's not dead, and we know that she will kill herself. So the redness and the crimson foreshadow that blood that she takes and the foreshadowing of her own death. I hope that has helped you understand Romeo in Act 5. Thank you for joining me, and see you again.